We'll just get started. So you know he's there. We can hear him, all happy and alive and well. Okay, so to get started, give you guys a brief overview. This is the start of our ambassador program is very near. Our launch date is planned to be November 1st as the first official day where everything hopefully is ready. So that is just about a week away. And so we do have some final things to settle before that time. This is actually our second version of the ambassador program. I see a lot of people in the chat here. We're in the first version. And then now we're coming hopefully with an improved and more advanced or slightly more advanced version to have even more impact. I think the first version of the ambassador program went very well. We've had a lot of applicants. We had a lot of people throughout the 6 months show us what they're capable of, share the news with Acala, share our announcements, onboard people, learn more about DeFi, and actually, make friends within the Discord. So I think that's really cool, and we want this to continue, and we want to take it to the next level. So thank you for all the ambassadors that were part of the first version. Some fell out after a few months, some came in midway through, and some stuck out through the whole thing. So whichever position you're in, thank you for joining the first program, and we hope to see you in the second version as well. So as a brief overview, this time around, well, the first time we just had ambassadors. Anyone could come in, they get the recruit role, and every month there was top ambassadors chosen, given a prize, and all the other ambassadors were able to spin from the lottery and win different amounts of ACA. This time around, we're going to introduce some new roles. So along with just our ambassadors, we're going to have regional leads. Oh, somebody can't hear anything. Can somebody give me like a thumbs up? Can you guys still hear me? Or is it just a single issue? I hope I'm not going in and out. Okay, most people can. Okay, so Serena, it might be a microphone setting. It might be an output setting. But if most people still hear me, I'm going to continue. Again, this is going to be recorded and reposted if you're going to have some issues. And I don't think we've deafened anybody in the server, so that shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, usually we'll try to help sort that out. So as I was saying, this time around, we're going to add some new roles. We're going to add a regional leads and a Discord moderator. The reason for this is... well, we realize that there are different sections, there are different regions of ambassadors, and there's different types of contents and different type of contribution from wherever you are in the world, and we kind of need somebody to be in charge of different regions. So that's what the regional lead. We're gonna get a little more into details of what is needed from our regional leads. And then also we like a moderator in our Discord. We realized that as we were getting more and more attention, there's more people coming in the Discord. So having somebody there to kind of cater to the new users, to help some people troubleshoot, to improve our Discord, and to kind of make it a little lively, we're looking for somebody to take on that role. And then of course, for the majority of you guys here or part of the program are going to be ambassadors, and you guys can contribute in any way that is, I guess, best to your abilities, whether it's, making content, whether it is onboarding people, whether it is joining or hosting live events online or offline, whether it's onboarding new projects, doing a little bit of business development, whether it's boosting our social score on different places, or writing different, articles on different platforms. Any way you feel that you are strongest in contributing, and if you want to contribute to the Acala network, we want you guys as ambassadors and to support you. So just as a recap, we'll have ambassadors. We plan on having at the end of the first month 45 new ambassadors, or new or re-existing ambassadors. 3 regional leads. The regions right now are Africa, Asia, and we've combined Americas and EU together. We can adjust it based on applications and how many ambassadors we get in. So yes, ambassadors, regional leads, and 1 moderator. Now, let's talk about the regional leads and moderators real quick. Again, this is not for the majority of you guys. This is only 4 roles that will be filled, but just for those that are interested in it. We do have a form that was out, and it's still out, in the ambassadors announcements chat. So if you don't have access to the ambassador channels in Discord, make sure to fill the ambassador form that's in the announcements will be given you will be given access to the ambassadors channel, and from there you can apply for the regional lead or moderator role. So those will have interviews. So if you just want to be an ambassador, you won't have a one-to-one interview, but instead you will just apply if you're an ambassador. But if you want a regional lead role or moderator, you will have a one-to-one interview. This is an important role. It does have a set amount of ACA that's paid every month, and so we really want to get to know you guys a little more before we fill for this role. As it looks right now, there's quite a few applications. There's quite a few applications for the moderator role, and it's a little more open for the regional lead role. So it's just something to keep in mind. If you're going for the moderator role, there is a lot of people applying for that job, and it's a little understandable because it is a pretty cool job if you're familiar with Discord and you like that kind of thing. So if you want to get an interview for that, they will be conducted on Monday and Tuesday. They'll be conducted by me. So we'll be having a chat. I'll be asking you guys a couple questions. Again, what I'm looking for the regional leads is just someone who has some knowledge of Acala. You will be mentoring and the new ambassadors coming in. You will be reading over their content. You will be grading their content and kind of giving a report to me at the end of the month so that we can distribute the rewards. And so somebody that can kind of be an example to the new ambassadors, but also can have some management and take some leadership over them. So if you have some content experience, that's great. If you have some management experience or even understanding of our point system and how to use it, that'll be something great for the regional leads. For the Discord mod, this is again a very sought out role. It's similar. We're looking for similar traits, but maybe less on the content side. So again, it's nice to have good knowledge and maybe even experience in Acala as well, because in our Discord, most of the time people are asking because they have issues or problems with maybe their wallets, maybe with one of our products. So to be able to troubleshoot and help them out is a big plus. So if you have some experience in Acala, that's great, or even just knowledge. So it's a little more technical, but it's also to keep the Discord a little lively, welcome some people in. And if you have any suggestions to improve the Discord in any way, we are always open for them. So that's kind of what we're looking for in the Discord mod. Let me get Yuju back in here again. And then the regional lead. So those interviews, again, are going to be on Monday and Tuesday. If you haven't signed up for an interview slot, the form is in the announcements channel of the Ambassador chat. So looking forward to those. But I'm going to now talk more about regular ambassadors. And although they're regular ambassadors, they're actually some extraordinary people. The way we're looking at it right now, the idea is to have 15 ambassadors in every region. So that'd be 15 in Africa, 15 in Asia, and then 15 between Europe and the Americas. That's the ideal number we're going for, because I think, we kind of came as a group to a consensus that will be a good number to have an equal amount of rewards for the effort. If you guys are familiar or not familiar, there will be in each region 3 winners of larger amounts of ACA, and all the rest will spin in the announcements. I think Madelmine might have just linked it. I appreciate that. So you can look at the details. I'm not going to share my screen to go over it, but it's something you can look at. The form has been posted quite a few times. It's also, but I can post it again after this AMA. There are 3 winners in each region, makes 9 winners in total, and the rest will be spinning the lottery, which will get you random amounts of ACA. And we've boosted the lottery a little more so that it's a little more fair for those who are putting in the efforts. Now, like I said, ideally we'll have 15 for each region. But the way it looks like, we have a lot of applications for the Ambassador Program, and I want to give everybody a fair shot. So what we are likely to do is for the first month, so the month of November, we'll kind of have a purge month. And by purge month, this is new information, by the way, for anyone listening, is that everyone who applies to be an ambassador will have a shot to contribute to the Acala ecosystem. And then with the help of the regional leads and myself, so for the first month, I'll be very involved, we will pick out the 15 ambassadors for each region. So for the first month, we may have a total of 60, 70 ambassadors, 80 ambassadors. We'll definitely cap it at 100 if we get that many applications. And then the first month, everybody will be able to earn some rewards, contribute, but we'll choose the top 15 to continue through the Ambassador Program. Now, I think within the second and third month, we can find what works best for the shifting of ambassadors. Some ambassadors may not want to continue after the first or second month, or we might have new ambassadors that show a lot of potential that want to get in. So I'll be talking with the regional leads on how to shift and keep it competitive. But know that after the first month, we will kind of solidify a list of 15 for the second month in each region. So 15 ambassadors in each region, along with the regional leads and moderator role. The regional leads and moderator roles are pretty set, but of course, if somebody wants to drop out or is unable to fulfill, we will also just be looking for a replacement as well, if that comes around to it. So a lot of information I just shot at you, but things to expect. As a quick recap, if you're going for the regional role or the moderator role, we will have interviews on Monday and Tuesday. There's a few people who expressed that they are unable to or not confident in having a one-on-one interview and would prefer a text interview. We will prepare a text interview for that. I encourage that if you can do a one-on-one interview, do so. But of course, if you're unable to, due to language barriers or due to any type of disability you have, we will not dock you for it. That's totally understandable. We welcome everybody and all their talents to apply for the program. Give me 1 second. Okay. Let's see if I missed anything. Yes, as when it comes for contribution, I know I've listed a few. We do have a few listed in our docs as well. But the idea is that when we do have new launches, and we do have some new launches coming up soon, we do kind of want full force from our ambassadors to promote or to share. So we want to educate and inform you guys as soon as possible so that you guys can prepare in whichever way you'd like to contribute. And at times where we're kind of in the developmental period, it's usually slower times for announcements. That's where your creativity can really shine on different type of contributions or content that you can make. You can either make content of things that are always ongoing. You can actually help out with our products. You can look for maybe spelling errors, suggestions. Really, everything that contributes to making Acala better will get recognized, and you'll be giving points according. If you're helping out in the Discord, your regional lead might not see it, but our Discord mod might see it. Tell us, and you'll get rewarded for it as well. So that is a speed through 15 minutes recap of the up and coming ambassador program. Again, the launch date is November 1st. The plan is to have Monday and Tuesday interviews for the regional leads and Discord mod roles. Decisions will be made on Wednesday and Thursday. And then Friday we'll start the program launch. And for the month of November, we'll monitor, add, and reward those who partake. So that was pretty fast. It was a lot of information. If you guys have any questions, let me check the chat real quick. Does anyone have any questions or would like any clarification on certain parts of the ambassador program? I see Michael Jr. has requested to speak. I'm going to allow. If anybody else has any questions, just raise your hand and request to speak, and we'll get you on stage. Let me get Michael on stage. Or the request is maybe the answer, the question was already answered. Yes, so I see Edrin's question. So we all get to work for November before the selection is made. Yes, if you wish to be an ambassador, like not one of the regional leads or the moderator, you'll be able to work and contribute for the first month. It's going to be a little hectic for the regional leads and myself because we're going to be going through a lot of different content and contributions. But for the first month, it'll be busy, but it'll just be for the first cuts. Will the prize pool be the same in November as all the other months? Yes, it will be. So again, the first month is going to be a little hectic. It's going to be a little chaotic. The lottery will get diluted a little bit with more and more contributors. But I think to find the ideal 15 for the next months, I think it's possible because I don't think we can have quite a selection process that's fair in the next 1 week before the program starts. So there'll still be the top 3 in the month of November, but for the lottery spin, it's going to be divided by a lot more ambassadors, at least for the first month. And then also with this, we can also see where the concentration of the ambassadors are. For example, if we don't have a lot that show up from Europe or Americas, or some that don't show up from Asia, we can also adjust the pools for the following month. So the first month really is a test month with some structure, but that's the plan. Is there any extra consideration for those active on project channels? What do you mean by active on project channels? Are you talking about like active in our Discord or active on our social medias, things like that? Oh yeah, no, activity is very big. It takes part of the contribution. So from our previous ambassador program, there's different things within our channel that can get rewarded. So one is like if you were able to see and point out scammers or bad actors within the Discord, you got rewarded. Like we had a ban channel, a ban request channel. Also, if you're helping users with questions, that also gets rewarded. All of these contribute to building a better Acala ecosystem, and it does get rewarded. So activity within the channel, showing up to AMAs and Twitter spaces, that all counts. Everything counts, whether you're making posts, being active, sharing the news. Anything that can be considered contribution, we'll open a contribution channel, and the appropriate points will get rewarded to the ambassadors. We also do have a guideline for general actions that you can take and the affiliated points. But again, this is just a guideline, and it could be adapted for certain events. I don't think anything really fits in a perfect square, but it's good to have some guidelines. And if you guys have more things that you guys do outside of the guidelines, then of course share them, and we'll make sure to attribute the appropriate points for it. Does the ambassador program require existing ambassadors to reapply? I'll say yes to reapply, but not necessarily for qualification, but more for our bookkeeping. Because in this new application, we do have your most updated wallet, so that when we do send out rewards, we're making sure we're sending it out to the right wallet. So it's just more for information. And it's not really an application to qualify, because again, this first month is going to kind of be every ambassador's application chance, since everybody will be able to be an ambassador and contribute, and then we'll have our cuts. Now, even if we do have our cuts the first month and you don't make it at the end of November, again, we will be having ways that people will rotate in and out. Maybe the bottom 2 ambassadors can get rotated out, something along those lines. So it's not totally over if you don't make the cuts, but there will be cuts at the end of November, just so that we ensure that everybody that is in the program gets rewarded accordingly. How would one know he's selected as an ambassador? So that's going to be a decision made at the end of November, and it's going to be a decision based on your regional leads and myself. So if we think of it in a bit of a hierarchy, I'll be looking over the regional leads, but the regional leads will be more connected to you one-on-one. So they'll know your content, they'll know your contribution a lot more. They'll come to me with their decisions. I'll look it over, kind of give it the check, and then we can kind of announce and give the official ambassador roles to the people who are selected. The rest who are not selected will kind of hold the recruit role for the rest of the time. B-Crush, I know there's been a lot of audio issues. I feel it's just you, because I think other people are hearing it. I even had to relog. I had to come back in and back out to hear everything. I guess you can't even hear me giving you instructions right now. But again, this is all recorded. So we'll post the recording so you can kind of hear any questions that you don't or you miss out on. Any specific or mandatory quality for the moderator or regional lead? Mandatory, I think, is a strong word, because we're pretty open to people. But I think one of the biggest factors will be your knowledge and experience in the Acala network, because Acala network and Polkadot as a whole is pretty technical, and you're not expected to know everything. I don't know everything, and I've been working for Acala for over a year. But you will be approached by people who know nothing, and you're going to have to find ways to help them out. And typically the easiest way to help them out is if you've tried things yourself. So if you've tried our products like Euphrates, ACA staking, dot staking and LDOT, swapping, bridging. If you're familiar with the ecosystem, it's a big bonus. If you're going to be a moderator helping people out in the Discord, and a regional lead, because people will talk about our content, so you'll know if the content is true. One thing I do want to add, uh, the voice is a little struck, huh? Okay, maybe it's because I'm recording the MA. I'm a little sick too, so I hope that I don't think that helps too much. Um, what was I? Sorry. One of the things I do want to mention, and this is for the regional leads, that it is something that we saw a lot in our previous program, and it's the use of AI. Now, I am totally pro AI. I love AI. It does help us a lot. Like, it will help us a lot in the future. It is the direction we're going. But there's a very big difference in writing an article, getting it buffered by AI or corrected by AI versus copying, pasting our white paper and putting it in AI to make an article. So things like that are very, very noticeable, especially with someone that uses AI like myself every single day. So that is something to look out for. If you think you're going to be able to get away with that, with some unoriginal, straight AI content, I guarantee you we will be really, really tough on it. So just wanted to point that out there. It is very recognizable. So similar how I use AI every day, I can recognize AI when it's used, like, and sometimes I'm like, ooh, this is a great use of AI. I can also see when it's used very poorly. And similarly, with my experience in the Acala ecosystem and using the Acala ecosystem, I'm able to help people out day in and day out. But again, it's a big learning curve, so I don't expect you to know everything. But getting a little bit familiar with it is a big bonus. So you do have this weekend to try, create a wallet, maybe move a little bit of funds, try some of our products, see your own experience so that you can experience some of the things other people do as well. And of course, if you have any questions, I am not against any questions. If there's something you do not know, don't fear that you'll get penalized because you don't know. Ask the questions. I'll help you out, help you understand. That's what we're all here for. I'm not a teacher in any way. You're not getting, have to write a test to pass a course. I mean, I guess you are getting interviewed, so there's a little bit of pressure. But before then, if you have any questions, definitely ask. What is the price pool for the Ambassador Program? Is the Ambassador Program Zeely based? No, it's not actually. Let me get you guys the link to the doc then. Let me grab that and drop it in the chat. If you look at our Ambassador Program, Google Docs V2, here we go. Let me get you guys the link in our chat here. Here are the details. It's about $6,000 a month in total. But our breakdown, we did a little bit of a vote in the Ambassador Chat channel of how the breakdown might be adjusted, and I think there was one that won significant votes. So yeah, 16 votes to 3. So this is actually going to be the breakdown of the prize pools. So the way it works, I can do a quick talk about it. First place, so the top ambassador in every region will win 5,800 ACA. Second place will win 4,200. Third place will win 2,500. And 12,500 will be left in the lottery for all the other ambassadors. So there'll be about 12 ambassadors left. And those 12 that are remaining, that's if we have 15 in every region, which is the goal, will spin the lottery. And they'll have as many spins as their contribution as their contribution. So I guess the top lottery spinner, so someone that ends up kind of in fourth place, will have more spins than the 15th lottery spinner. But the amounts of ACA you win are totally random. I think the low end is 20 ACA and the high end is 150 ACA per spin. So it will be totally random. But based on your contribution, you get more lottery spins to get different amounts of ACA. So roughly, it'll be about 1,000 ACA per person, but it will vary. Maybe someone will win 2,000, 3,000, somebody else will win 500, but it's based on contribution. And every region, again, has their own set of prizes. So Africa will have its own region and have these prizes. Asia will have its own region and have these prizes. And Americas and EU will be put together and have this as well. So this is the prize pool every single month. And that's also why we want to limit it to 15 ambassadors so that the lottery doesn't get split too much. Again, the first month of November, unfortunately and fortunately, everybody will be able to partake. So that lottery, 12,500, will be split a little more thinly across all ambassadors before we make the cuts to the 15. But that's the distribution that was voted on based on our previous ambassadors and the new ones that have come in. If we ask, is that if we start working now or do we wait until November? If anything you do now, that's a good question. It doesn't count towards our points. Our official start date will be November 1st. I want to have a fair start date for everybody, and not everybody to have anyone to have a head start, especially that it is going to be this first month is going to be a little hectic, and it's going to be used to determine the top 15 in every region. So we're going to start November 1st. If you want to put out any content and ask for some feedback, you can definitely do that next week. And we can gear things certain ways. If you have any questions, if you want to prepare ahead of time, you definitely can. We do have a new pool planned to launch in the next 2.5 weeks. So there's a bit of time before that comes. So I mean, that's going to launch in November. And I think there's one other announcement that I can't remember at the top of my head right now that's also going to launch in November. So those are two big content pieces. But of course, you can always make content of some of the things that are continuously running in the Acala network, or just even your personal thoughts, how you feel, visions. Again, any questions you have to us, we can help you if it helps you with your content. But no, the official start date will be November 1st. So anything from that point forward, we can. Something I didn't really talk about, but how we check contributions. This is how we did it last program, and we'll probably continue this the same way, at least the first month, until we can maybe think of a better system. But we will have a contributions channel, and everybody will make their own thread and just list all the different contributions you've done for the month. So as you make a post, as you help a user, as you give feedback on one of our products, or if you find a bug, or if you find a typo, you just will put it into your own contribution channel thread, and we'll go over it and assign you points accordingly. There'll be a points leaderboard in the Discord, so you can always check how many points you have in comparison to your peers. And those points turn into tokens that we give you that will let you spin the lottery, unless you're in the top 3. So if you're not in the top 3, if you're in the top 3, you get your prize right away. If you're not in the top 3, your points turn into tokens, and those tokens are your lottery spins. So that's kind of the system, but again, we'll get more and more into details of that next week once some of the set roles are chosen, and if some of the regional leads want to adapt to that, we can definitely adapt how that's going to work. But that's kind of how it's looking like right now. But I appreciate the questions. These are all great questions. Love the activity. I'm excited to get this thing started. Yeah, we're 1 week away, so yeah, very excited. Do we have any other questions in the chat? Of course, if you have more questions during the week, definitely drop them in the ambassador chat and let me know. Especially, I suggest you say it in the ambassador chat and not in a DM, because somebody else might have the same question. So it stops me from repeating myself, 4 or 5 times over. But that'll be great. But if there are no other questions, we can close it off now. I also like the recording to stay relatively short so people aren't scared to listen to the whole thing. And I'm sure after this, once it's sitting in your mind a little bit, there might be more questions. But I see Middleman is typing. I'll let him get his thoughts out. I do want to remind you guys, the Discord moderator role is highly sought out for. So there's going to be a lot of people going for it. If you don't get the role, don't feel too down. Perhaps even in the next ambassador program, especially if we're growing our community, we might look for a second Discord mod. But I can't promise that right now. Right now, we got the funding and the treasury funding for one Discord mod, 3 set roles and prizes. So it'd be something that we'll have to look into in the future. But I do love the enthusiasm for the people that want to partake. And of course, the regional roles, there's of course a lot of people applying for it, but just not as dense as the Discord mod. So just putting that out there beforehand, but looking forward. Who can you direct technical questions to? Yeah, our devs are the back end kind of super technical guys. I guess you could pass it on to me and I could pass it forward. We do actually have a dev channel in our Discord, but we can kind of liven it up a little. Most of our devs are actually more active on GitHub. So if you're in the Acala GitHub and you ask them a question there, that's the quickest way you'll probably get an answer. But if you're not familiar with GitHub, or you don't have a GitHub account, or if it's not a GitHub kind of related question, then you could pass it on to me and I'll have to pass it on to the devs in our team chat. Besides that, yeah, we do have a dev channel in here. You could tag maybe Brian, or I think OX3 Bodies, I think is another one of our members that's a dev that can answer your questions. Or you could just ask me and I can pass it on forward. Kind of curious what the dev questions are. I'm not a developer myself, so I can't get too technical, but I'm always interested in seeing. Yeah. We do have a bit of a focus too on onboarding new projects this year. If you're able to onboard new projects or have some really cool marketing plans or collaborations, that is a big bonus and would be huge for Acala. But of course, again, any contribution is appreciated and we're looking forward to it. So I think that's going to wrap it up. Guys, thank you for coming to the AMA and asking all these wonderful questions. Again, this is going to be recorded and we'll have it posted maybe on our YouTube channel, and then have a link for you guys if you guys ever want to catch it again. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. Make sure to touch some grass and yeah, enjoy life. Keep your health all good. I know a lot of people are getting sick right now, so keep your health good. And we're looking forward to seeing you guys next week. Yuju, do you have any closing words? I'm assuming you're saying something, but I cannot hear you. So I think it's a bit of a mic issue. I hope I'm not talking over you right now, Yuju. But I'm assuming you're saying bye, and he's looking forward to it. So see you guys soon. Enjoy, and goodbye. Goodbye.